Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simple E. Hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on intellectualradio.com.
Woo! Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. You all, want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Like and follow us right here on YouTube. That's the jspot.com. Go to TikTok. Boop, boop, boop. Like and follow us there. That's the J Spot. Jaye. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's just me. We are ready to rock and roll. Thank you so much for allowing me to join you on your ride home, join you as you cook dinner, join you as you pop the kids upside the head, yell at them because you know what? School is back in session. These little jokers done came home, and here they are. Listen, they been out all summer long. Now they want to come. My teacher said that I gotta. I'm like, cut all that out. Ain't no crying up in here. You wasn't crying when you was up in here all summer long on that game. Oh, I got you. I'm level 2 and all this and that. And all, listen, you got all the cheat codes, know how to crack the codes, everything for these games. Now we're doing your 1+1s and your 3+3s. And now all of a sudden, you in a state of shock. Like, what's wrong with you? My teacher said, y'all know how they get when you trying to get over worked up, like you still not gonna jack them up. So that my teacher said that what did your teacher say? You've been in school three minutes. What the teacher done said now? Tell me what the teacher. That's how I used to be when my son was in school. What the teacher say? Come on over here and tell me what the teacher say. Now, and you better tell me exactly what the teacher say. You better not miss. Listen, I was crazy with this stuff growing up. But guys, listen, school is back in session. Listen, make sure you know what's going on at your children's school. Listen, they send the packets home to let you know what they expect of your child, your children at these schools. Listen, do not go up there giving these teachers a hard time. Do not listen, ladies. Let me talk to us real quick. Sisters, now listen, y'all in the building, I know what I'm about to say. Y'all probably not gonna like it. It's all right because sometimes we need to have a little heart to heart. So let's have a little heart to heart. Ladies, please do not, and I repeat, do not go up to the school with those bonnets on, okay? Listen, I don't care, but we don't want to see them up in the school. I don't care if it's a new one, if it's a silk one, if it's the one, it's in style, whatever it is, those need to stay at home. I understand you just got your hair done. I understand you just going around a corner and you got, I understand all of that. Take it off. Please take them off, especially if they nasty. Especially, some of y'all got or smelling like smoke, weed smoke. You smelling like traces of, I ain't gonna say the other word, but y'all know the other word. Y'all know the other smell that them bonnets be smelling like. Take it off. Smelling like cigarette smoke. Take it off. Do not drop your kids off smelling like weed. You in the car, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You dropping the kids off. They go up in the school smelling like weed. Come on now, you all look. Now, look, we have got to do better. It's past time for all that. You know what? Don't be sitting up here judging people. I'm not judging you. We gonna talk. You know why? Because I'm from the same area. So we're gonna talk. That's why I can talk to you. Because listen, I know them streets, that west side. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, who wanna talk about Pulaski? Who wanna talk about Laramie? Who wanna talk about Central? Who wanna talk about Madison? So I'm gonna talk about it. Because you know what? Listen, that's the house. Listen, that's home. Who wants to talk about Cicero? Who wants to talk about Chicago Avenue? So therefore, we are going to talk about it tonight. Do not drop them kids off smelling like weed, smelling like that loud. Listen, them kids come up in there. I know they have, because I'm getting high. I'm getting a contact just off their clothes. Now you wondering why the kids up in the classroom, they can't sit down and they say, oh, he got ADHD. He don't have ADHD. He has. Don't you recognize when a child is high? Because their parents been smoking all that. Listen, kush, good, loud, whatever you all are calling it. You know, some of y'all lacing it with some other stuff too. We're going to talk about that later. But for the ones, listen, do not be dropping them kids off and they smell it. Listen, they're smelling like weed. They smelling like liquor. They smelling like cigarette smoke. You got them drop. But then you think that they're supposed to be able to have a productive day. Such as you saying West Side, absolutely West Side, like for real. West Side, truly, this is the West Side, because it's like, it's crazy. Like, it is crazy. There is no reason why these kids should be coming to school smelling like that. Then you got them there, they haven't eaten because they haven't gotten up on time, so they don't have a balanced breakfast. Now, for those households that do not have the funds for the breakfast and stuff like that, I understand that. But here's where you're going to get my pushback at. If you got money for weed, you got money for a box of cereal and some milk. I'm going to say that again. If you got money to smoke weed, you got money to buy a box of cigarette or buy a box of cereal and some milk. Dollar Tree sell everything for over $1. Get you some. Find you something. Y'all know how to do it. Don't act like we don't know how to get what we need. So we're not gonna do that. Wait, I ain't had nothing. I'm doing the best I can. You sure should. So if you are doing the best that you can, you shouldn't be high. You shouldn't have those eyelashes on. You shouldn't have that long, grimy hair down to your butt. You shouldn't have any of that, because all of that costs money that clearly at this point you're telling us that you don't have to be able to feed your kids and give them what they need. So you shouldn't have all the extra frivolous stuff that is not needed. So I'm trying to help somebody on today. So next thing, make sure that your kids have the supplies that they need for school so that they can be productive. Make sure that they have everything. Listen, now I know some of these teachers are asking for some things that are kind of unrealistic. Ma'am, we're not getting them a $300 calculator and they in first grade. We're not doing that. Ma'am, we're not buying 12 rolls of Bounty paper towel, and we're not doing all that. I'm going to send them off with the starter kit on one. Son, daughter, when you use your box, then you come back and we'll go back to the store and we'll get the other one. But I'm not sending you a whole I'm not doing that, okay? So I'm going to look and I'm going to say they made a mistake on the quantity. You got that right, Cedric. What side? They made a mistake on that quantity. If I'm sending one child to the classroom, I'm not buying 12 bottles of hand sanitizer. I'm just not doing it. I'm going to buy one. Teacher, you send me a note when my child runs out of the hand sanitizers that's needed, then you come back and then we'll talk. But dude, I'm not sending all of that. So buy what you can, get what you need. Get the most important things first. Okay, so we got to do that, but we cannot let these lists deter us from doing what we need to do. The next thing, you all look. Now, Look, I know the struggle be real. Do not listen. I understand the struggle be real. And I'm about to hit some nerves when I say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not drop them kids off at school looking like who did it, what for, and why. Stop letting them go out the house looking like anything. You could send them to school with their little school uniform, shirt all dirty and wrinkled. The kids hair ain't combed. Oh, listen, stop being raggedy and trifling. Look, I'm going to say it. Stop being raggedy and trifling, okay? Because some of this is just raggedy and trifling. Some of this don't have nothing to do with a person cannot do it. Because I promise you this. When they say it's ladies' night, she's clean. Even if her house is filthy, she's clean. She's neat because she's trying to catch the next one. I can promise you when they say, listen, half off for the dudes, they there and they're clean. If they say Air Force Ones and jeans, they there with the Air Force Ones and the jeans on because that's what it say. So why not do the same for your kids? Why send your kid to school looking like any other thing? Looking like don't nobody care. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. And make sure they doing their homework. Make sure they're doing what they need to be doing every single night. Make sure they come home with your homework. They come home, get right there, get right into them, right to the game. Like, no, sir, not today. We're not doing that game. Not today. We're not doing the game. Bless your heart, but we're not doing that game today. So you can take that game and you can kick rocks with that game because we're not doing that game. What we gonna do today, you gonna get this reading done, and like they used to tell us, you gonna get this learning. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get this learning today, whether you want it or not. You're gonna get the learning. You're gonna get the learning, and that's what's just gonna happen. Guys, look, you gotta make sure you have a relationship with the kid, your children's teachers. You have to. Make sure you going up there and look, again, do not go up in there with an attitude because some of these, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, some of these schools, you got to pray before you go up there because some of them, now I'm not going to lie. Look, I know y'all, some of these schools, you got to pray before you get up there because there's a good chance that you could catch, a case or two, messing around with some of these teachers that really don't want to be there. So I'm not going to sit up there in front and act like all these teachers you can talk to and all of them got sense. They don't. They just there for a check. I'm going to be honest with you. But for those that are, the few that are there to actually cater to and teach your child, let's make sure that we're making their job as easy as possible. It's not your job. It's not the teacher's job to make sure your kids know how to write their name and all this other stuff. You have to take some we have to take some responsibility as well for our kids' education. So let's stop placing it. If the teacher will do her job, no. The job starts at home with us. So we have to do our job, and then we can point and delegate who is next. But we have to make sure that we have laid the foundation for our children to be successful when they get to school. Now, I know y'all like, you know what, Jay, ain't nobody even trying to hear all that. Well, we need to hear it, okay? We need to hear it, especially us, my urban family. Listen, my west side, my south, listen, my hood folks, we need to hear it, y'all, because we down. We down. Hood 0, the rest of the world 10. No. And we listen, but for real, we winning though, really, if you really think about it, because look at all of the good fruit that they pluck out of the west side, and then they pluck the good fruit, and then they leave the rest of the undiscovered good fruit here. But it's some good fruit on the west side. It's some good fruit on the south side. It's some good fruit in the hood. So don't let nobody make you think that there's nothing good going on in the hood, because there's so much good going on in the hood. We just got to stop letting it be tainted by the stuff that's really not on board. That's not on the up and up. So it's okay. We have to call a couple of people out. You got to get called out for doing reckless things and not doing what you're supposed to do by these kids. So we're going to make sure that these kids have a productive year. We're going to make sure, because again, we're going to make sure we are representing for our children. So again, mother, stop going up to the school with them bonnets. And last but not least, put some clothes on. Please stop going up to the school with them bad BBLs out. And listen, you got one vanilla cheek hanging out them nasty shorts. You got another burnt cheek hanging out them nasty shorts. Listen, I don't know who told you that was cute, but can I tell y'all, come on, it's not. It's not. It's ridiculous. Okay, it is absolutely ridiculous. That's not school apparel. Listen, the security guard Tyrone, he tired of seeing it. He's tired of seeing it. From the post that's on social media, they say that they tired of smelling it too. I ain't never smelled it, but I know I'm tired of seeing it. So listen, we have to make sure that we are dressing in a presentable manner when we go up there to be on business for our kids. So again, look, put some clothes on. Let's not be sitting up here acting like this all I got. Listen, you got more than them stretched out nasty booty shorts that's showing that lopsided booty. Please, look, put it up, okay? Put it up. See, that's all these bees always hating. Nobody's hating, sis. Nobody's hating. We just disgusted and we're tired. We are disgusted and we are tired of seeing booty everywhere. Listen, I'm so sick of turning on the TV every time. If I see one more person twerking, I'm going to start just throwing eggs on sight. I'm so sick. Look, I don't even want to see nobody dancing anymore because I'm just so sick of all of the twerking. It is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm just done, guys. I'm floored. I am tired of all of it. Go ahead. So she can go ahead, little mama. So little mama can do everything, but when it comes down to doing the work, now little mama got a problem. Now don't nobody understand how to read and how to do all this other stuff because little mama got a problem. So look, we got to do better with this. Okay, so can we agree that this year, parents, mothers, we going to not go to school with these filthy bonnets on, and we not going to go to the school with these nasty stretched out shorts that are, that got your bad BBL out, or you know what, or it may not even be a BBL. It's too much. It's just, listen, stop coming up there with them shirts and the stomach is all, and it's just doing all, look, no. Why do I have a problem? Because I get distracted. So I know these kids are distracted, okay? I get stuck right in mid-thought, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Yes, Cedric, they cutting up already, and this is just the first couple of days of school. So imagine what the school year is going to bring. That's like bees be wanting to hate, bees be mad because they ain't built like, ma'am, let's just settle this. We're not mad. We're not mad. We're glad that you are built however you built. We glad about that. We just don't want to see it nor smell it. We don't want to see, like, you're distracting the children. Ma'am, it's about the children. Fellas, we and Mother Sue, because y'all be smoking that weed too when you're dropping these kids off. Please stop smoking that weed in the car, dropping these kids off. Stop smoking that weed. And listen, stop listening. Look, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to parent. Okay? Not trying to tell. Not. But let's reconsider. Let me say this. Say it this way. Let's reconsider the type of music that let's consider the type of, gotcha, Cedric, thank you. Let's reconsider the type of music that we have and we're exposing our kids to. Let's kind of reconsider that type of music, because again, we got all of this stuff and the kids are being exposed to all of this, and then they go to class, and you dropping them off to school, and bees this, and I'm gonna stump and then they get to class, and then now they can't focus on this old man. He play knick-knack on my thumb with a knick-knack. Get a dog. They can't focus on that. You know why? Because they too busy. They ready to stomp a bee out, because that's what you don't put in their little spirits on their way to school. So we definitely got to be mindful of that. And we got to, y'all, we just got to do better by the kids. We got to do better by what we are exposing them to. And just, man, just focus on creating a better and positive environment. We got to work with what we got. So just because we in the hood don't mean we got to go and fall into the negative stereotypes. So let's help fostering a more positive environment, foster in an environment of learning and higher learning and growth and positivity, so that you can see your little plants, they grow up to be strong, positive, productive trees, opposed to strong, weak and rotten trees. So let's think about that. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Guys, listen, you thought that was something. Listen, we on the road tonight. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yeah, guys, listen, we got to do better. Look, be up in that smoking that reefer. We like, yeah, we smoking that reefer up in here. I got to adjust this, guy. Sorry. Smoking that reefer. I'm gonna try to adjust this. Oh, my titties are big, y'all. Oh, jeez. Bang on. Look at these, y'all. Okay. All right. Let me see. Hopefully I got it right. But yeah. Cedric, let me find out that y'all, you trying to have me so everybody can see my full rack. Let me find out. That's what's going on over here. But guys, listen, again, we want to make sure that these kids have a great, productive year. So we got to do better, you know? Be for them. We got to be helpers one to another. You know, we got to help each other out. And so we can win this game if we be on one accord and help our kids out. Again, we can't be making it seem like it's all about the teachers and things like that. Oh, the teacher got to do this and they got to do... No. No, it ain't all about what the teacher got to do. We got to step in there too and make sure we are doing what we need to do for our kids. So we got to make sure that we are creating the right environment and giving them what it is that they need. You know? That's what we got to do. So I hope y'all, I'm trying to get this situated over here. Yep. Let me see. Yep, but we gotta. Hopefully. This is some more chunky right here. But yeah, so guys, we definitely want to make sure that we are helping, you know, the kids, you know, and fostering them, like I said, just a more positive environment for our kids. Make sure we doing the right thing. Hey, Sean. This Sean White, Choosy Lover. I told him we had to have a talk about this song. Yeah, I think this is gonna do my best this week to not get choked all up, because y'all know what happened last week. So wish me luck, because the foolishness be real, baby.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Like and follow our page on YouTube. That's the jspot.com. And then go right around the corner to TikTok. Boop, boop, boop. And follow us there. That's the J Spot, guys. J is Jaye. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot. Thank you, 30 and Up Doing Us, Tyson Smith, 180 Real Talk Chicago. What else? Everybody else, guys, I just said a brain fart. Everybody else that rocks with us and participates with us, thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Thank you for tuning in with us. As you guys know, our big group, Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay, has been long gone. These bastards, guys, they done turned the group into some it's something, but it no longer exists. So thank you guys so much for rocking with us. But guys, listen, I really need y'all to go. As many of you are, it's so many of y'all, I need y'all to go help us build this YouTube channel up. Again, I want to go there. That's the jspot.com. Go and help us. Go ahead and knock our 1,000 subscribers out. So please, the jspot.com. Go over there to YouTube, because we have some exclusive content. So some stuff on YouTube that we don't have on any other platforms. So please go there and check those videos out. Y'all go, that's what y'all is listening. It's a whole bunch of foolishness cracking off over there that you guys have not seen because you're not subscribed over there. So please go to YouTube, thejspot.com, and subscribe and turn on the notification bells over on all of our platforms. Now listen, guys, speaking of notifications and platforms, we're going to get into a little celebrity news. And I want to know, what do you all think about this? So Carly Red is saying that it doesn't matter what happens, any type of situation. She says, don't you ever contact my man for nothing. I don't care who you are. She says that she don't want no woman, her friend, sister, mother, anybody, no woman should ever be contacting her man for anything. Ladies, what do you all think about that? Do you think that she has a good point? Like, and she said, even if she was in a car accident or something happened to her, she was in jail or anything, she said, let me deal with it. She was like, under no circumstance are you to contact my man ever. I don't care what it is. I could need blood from him. Don't you ever. And I'm saying, I'm emphasizing, I'm feeling like that's what she's saying. Don't you never. With her perfect nails, she said, don't you ever contact my man in that order for nothing. What do you all think about that? She said, not even if it's an emergency. So now, I'm going to agree on some things. Like, you shouldn't just be calling my dude up unless you all were friends before he and I got together. But if I'm the introduction, then I'm with her. Like, I don't see what do you all, why would there even be a need for you all to exchange numbers? That's me. I don't see why there would be a need to exchange numbers. That's one thing. But maybe if he has a business or she has a business and they're trying to, get together to connect and network, then I'm not sure I would have a problem with that. But I would want to know, like, okay, so what's going on? Like, why do you guys, like, what's the purpose of you guys connecting? But I'm not going to go to the extent where, oh, well, if something happens to me, then you can't even contact him. Then there's no reason for you to be able to contact him. Stay out of this, leave him alone. Hey, Erica, how you doing over there? Hey, James. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for checking in. Hey, Peterson. Why would you need to contact my man? So I'm with her on that on a day-to-day basis. But again, if something happens, then you should be able to contact him on my behalf. If I'm laying up in the hospital and he's my emergency contact, of course contact him. Girl, save my life, But that normal chit chat, I wouldn't understand what would be the purpose of you, having to be in contact with my man like that. Like, why would you? Because for me, I don't want any of my friends' dudes' phone numbers, because I'm telling you, listen, and I know I feel like I'm the most straight and narrow person. I am. I really, really am. I really am. So if you come to me about your dude, it's going to be a problem, because I'm just like, I don't want him. So my thing would be this: let me do everything in my power to ensure that I'm not having any problems, and I'm not overstepping my bounds, or I'm not doing anything of that nature, so that you will be comfortable, and I'm going to be comfortable. Because the last thing I want to do is be uncomfortable, and we're supposed to be friends, and you thinking that I'm pushing up on your man. So, and even not if you even think I'm pushing up, but I just don't want to give the appearance or even be in a position where that could even possibly be the case. Because my thing is this: I value friendships. I value my friends' friendships. I value that. I value relationships, and I respect relationships. So my thing would be is, I'm not going to put you in position to, not, to not trust me. And I don't want to put you in position to not trust him. Now, if you know that you got a mutt, do not step to your girlfriends when you know that you got a mutt. You know he done cheated on you with everything. Listen, girl, don't come in my ear. Don't come in my ear with this. Don't come in my face with this. You know he ain't no good. You done took him back 1,000 times. What you mean? How he get my phone number? I don't know. He could have got it out your phone. Who else phone number do he got in there? Don't come talking to me about the low life that I love him. Well, you love him, but do he love you? I'm going to tell you something. You with your dysfunctional and toxic love, y'all better run on. Y'all better wrench on some, dog. You best to wrench on somewhere. You better wrench on, because I'm not trying to deal with it. So listen, take your toxic, insecure love somewhere else. So do I think that Carly Red, I think that she, went a little bit too far with the, well, I don't care if I am, it's an emergency and I need some help, don't ever contact. I think that part was a little too far for me. But just generally speaking, I think that she has a point. Like, there's no reason for me to contact, there's no reason for you to have to contact somebody else's dude. Like, there's just no reason for us to have to contact this dude. There's no reason for us to be in contact with each other if it's not an emergency for her. Or maybe even if we decide to, plan some type of surprise or something, then, that could be the case. But to just be, a part of the random, oh, I'm just texting you just to see how you doing. I'm just calling you to see how you doing. Bro, why? Like, I listen. The whole hood will come out of me. Hey, pretty Tasha, how you doing? The whole hood will come out. I'll be like, bro, dog, like, why? Like, what's the purpose of you? What? How you doing? Why do you want to know how am I doing? Like, if I'm doing fine, what's it to you? If I'm not doing fine, what's it to you? So, like, that's where I would want to know, like, why are you checking on me? Like, don't check on me. Check on your woman. That's who you check on. Check on your girl. Don't check on me. So I do see it from that standpoint, like again, I wouldn't want to be in position where, my name is being brought up in those type of situations. So I just wouldn't. Cedric is saying, nah, why even open up the door for those issues? Absolutely. So it's just like, let's not do this. If we see each other in passing, when we see each other when we with her, cool. It's all love, family. What's up, big dog? Look, all that, all love. But if she's not, if she's not there, or we're not, if she's not there, we're not in each other's presence, there's no reason for us to be having private conversations, because again, it may start off innocent, but I'm going to always ask, why are we talking? Why is this particular situation? Why is this now happening? Like, what's the purpose of us talking? And there would be none. The only purpose is you're trying to get to know me. We finna set up some stuff, and now it's gonna be us. We finna be cheating. I know that's gonna listen. If you fall for your friend's friend, your friend's dude, he cheating on her with you, what do you think is gonna happen with you? First of all, when the friend find out, you already know that she's dumping you as a friend, okay? She's gonna dump you as a friend, but she's gonna keep her dude. She's gonna keep her dude, but she's gonna drop you as a friend. She gonna jump you and all this other good stuff, but she gonna keep her man. Now see how that happened? So why even put yourself through all of this to not have a friend, have all this drama going on, and now you down? Like, here you go. And now you wondering, oh, she tripping. She shouldn't be so insecure. Well, if she your friend, then you know she insecure. If she your friend, you know one flew over the cuckoo's nest and got stuck there. So why would you even test her? She already telling you now, don't be around her man. She already telling you that. So whether you like it or not, it's how she feels. Whether you think that she's insecure or not, it's how she feels. And she has a right to feel that way. If you think that that's extra, again, who are you to challenge how she feels about the relationship? Again, I wouldn't go that far, but I'm like, okay, again, with me, my man, what you calling him for? What you calling him for? Like, for me, I don't call nobody else's dude, even if we got some business to take care of. And if I do, I'm always letting the woman know. If I know the woman, listen, I'm gonna call Red, and I'm gonna have him to do such and such. Like, girl, go ahead. I'm just letting you know. You ain't gotta. I'm just letting you know, because again, to keep away the appearance, even somebody possibly lying on you, or what if somebody saw you and Red together and y'all working on business, but why you didn't tell his woman? So now they gonna bring it back to old girl, and they gonna make it seem like it's something that it wasn't. So I've always had the philosophy, and I've always thought like this: I need to cover my own behind. Not that I don't have good intentions, not that I'm not on the up and up. It's not about me. It's not about me not being on up and up. Oh, Jay, you don't trust yourself around nobody else's dude. I don't trust your dude. I don't trust your dude, and I don't trust you, because I know how you can take a little something and you can go truly to the left. And I would hate to have to knock you out the side of your brain for going left over this mutt that you got. So I look at it like this. I'm looking at it. I'm being charitable. I'm helping the world. I'm helping you out. I'm helping you not to get knocked out the side of your head. That's what I'm helping you. Help me help you not to have me knock you out the side of your head because you talking crazy. What do I want him for? He don't have nothing for you. You taking care of him. So what? I want to be in a position where you taking care of me and him. I'm good. I'm good though. But bless your ministry over there. Y'all can keep doing that. See, I'm telling y'all, listen, I'm on team. I would rather have no love than that struggle, that poor, broken, starving love. I'm good. You're going to have to count me out that foolishness. So that's what we doing over there. So she say, don't contact the man. Ladies, don't contact a man. And that's just it. Just don't contact a man, and then you ain't got to worry nothing to worry about. See, no harm, no foul. But if you see an issue with that, you would have to ask yourself, like, okay, so seriously, why do I see an issue with my friend saying don't contact her man? Why would I see that as an issue? Why would that possibly bug me? It shouldn't bug you because, again, it's her man and her dude. Speaking of her man and her dude, guys, what do you all think about this? So the lady, she said her and her husband got married, and they have been married for 7 years. And so he had 5 kids outside of the marriage. So he had 5 kids before they got married. And his baby mama ended up running into some hardships, and it caused her to lose her place. And so now he had to get custody of his 5 kids. So the wife tells him, I told you in the beginning that I didn't want to be responsible for your kids, and I didn't want to take on this responsibility. I didn't want to be involved with it. And so he brought the kids to their home anyway, and he told the wife that she wouldn't have to be involved with his kids, that he got it. So she said that she left him because she knew that he would want her to be involved some type of way with his kids. And he knows that he told her that that's not what she signed up for. So she left him. Question. So was she wrong for leaving this man? Again, she told him in the beginning, I don't want to have the responsibility of having to deal with 5 kids. You knew I told you this in the beginning. I'm out. You got your kids? I'm out. And she said she left, and she said she's happy now that she left him and his 5 kids, and she's happy because that's not what she signed up for. So is she wrong for leaving? Because I'm stuck, because here's the thing. We get mad if men say this, but now here we got little Miss Trifling Pants over here. But see, I'm going to say Trifling Pants because she married him knowing that he had 5 kids. So are you saying that you were just okay with laying up with a man as long as he wasn't taking care of his kids? You fine with him laying up with you and got 5 kids that he's not taking care of because he's trying to keep you happy. So therefore, he's not doing what he needs to do for his children because he's focusing on what's making your raggedy behind happy. See, right there, that's where my problem would come in right there, because dude, you chose this chick over your kids. So like, that's foul right there. Like, you chose this chick. So you guys both willingly went into the situation. You went in knowing that he had 5 kids. He went in with you knowing that you wanted nothing to do with his 5 kids. So to me, you both were wrong, and they both set themselves up for this crazy situation because you go in knowing that you didn't want this. Neither one, you got your kids. You knew she didn't want to be bothered with the kids. This is how kids get hurt. This is how kids get mistreated. When people are telling you how they feel about your kids, believe them. Stop being so desperate. And I'm going to say desperate because when you start choosing people over the well-being of your children, you're being desperate. That's desperate because you chose somebody in spite of them telling you how they felt about your kids. You still chose them. And that's not cool. That's not cool at all, because now you put your children's safety in the way. You've jeopardized your children's happiness. You've jeopardized their well-being for somebody else. You jeopardized that for this woman. The moment she told you that she didn't want to have anything to do with your kids, you shouldn't have married her. This is a conversation that should be, and see, this is why I always say we got to have these hard conversations up front. You got to have the what if conversations up front, because no doubt, what if something happened to my girlfriend or my baby mama with the kids, and then I got to get custody and the kids got to come and live with me? How are you going to feel about that? Are you going to be okay with stepping in and helping me, since you will be my wife? How can you be his wife and he got 5 kids and you not have anything to do with it? So on the one half of me is saying, you know what? I'm glad that the wench did leave, because opposed to mistreating kids that she already knew she didn't want to deal with in the beginning. So I am glad that she did leave. So that's the thing about that. I'm glad that she left, because before you mistreat a child, it's good that you left. So that's a good thing, because let me find out you done did something to one of my kids, one of them. You don't even want to know. And that's all I'm saying, is you don't even want to know. So we got to definitely make sure that we are putting ourselves in position to be the best that we can be for our kids. And we got to stop jeopardizing our children's safety and their happiness over our own, because it's like, at the end of the day, the kids did not ask to be here. And the crazy part about it is this stuff is happening in real life. So I was in a ride share, matter of fact, it was yesterday. And so the lady and the driver and I, we were talking. And so she told me this exact same thing. She was just like, she married a man that did not want to have anything to do with her 2 children that she brought into the marriage that were not his. So he always treated her children differently. And so she stayed with this man all the way up until her children were grown. So can you imagine the emotional and the psychological crap that those kids had to go through with this man, because he didn't want them? He wasn't a father. He was just there. So now that he's out of the picture, now they're grown, and now she finds herself trying to backtrack, and now she's trying to make up for the times that she subjected them to being with her ex-husband. And now I don't know if she did it because financially, he provided financially and it was a good trade-off financially for them, but emotionally they suffered a lot at his hands, because he would say things to them because he didn't want them there. And she did eventually have children with him, and he treated his biological children better than he treated her 2 children from a previous relationship. So it's just like, listen, so that's why I'm a firm believer, and I'm an advocate of people saying, listen, I don't deal with people that got kids. Respect those type of people, you all. Stop trying to get mad and get all up in your feelings. I'm a package deal. Well, honey, he don't want your package. The package that you are bringing, he doesn't want it. So get out of his face and wait until you meet somebody that does not mind the package that you bring. But you are not the gift for him, because he don't want what you selling. And it's okay. We got to start respecting people that feel like that. Fellas, when you get these ladies and they telling you, listen, I don't want any kids, or I don't want to deal with a dude that got kids by another lady, that already got kids, you should leave her alone. And here's why: because in the event anything happened to your child's mother and she's no longer the primary caregiver for your children, what are you going to do with your kids? You're going to let them go to their grandparents? You're going to let them go to the foster care system? What are you going to do? Because you done hooked up with somebody that I already told you, I don't want your kids. I don't want your kids nowhere around me. Your kids are not welcome in this house. If my kids are not welcome, neither am I. And we got to get good and be okay with removing ourselves from situations like that. We take all of this stuff to heart. Oh, he said, deal with women that got kids. So what? He don't deal with women that got kids. It's so many other dudes out here that deal with women that have kids. She foul. She said she don't want to deal with me because I got kids. So what? It's another chick out here that will deal with you. You find a chick that got kids and listen, couple up. So I'm never mad if a man say, "Oh, well, Jay, I can't talk to you because you have a kid." Okay. Next. I'm not for you. And it's like what am I getting upset about? What am I getting in my feelings about? Because I'm not the cup of tea for you. And that's just that. I'm not the cup of tea. I don't do tea. I do coffee. So I'm not mad because I'm not that for you. I'm cool with that. Thank you for telling me up front. Thank you before we wasted all of this time. But what we do is we like to hide things. We like to act like it wasn't said. We like to act like all of this stuff. Then you get your feelings hurt when they stand on business and say, "Well, I already told you that I didn't want this. I didn't want a situation like this. You was cool to hang out with. You was cool to do all of this with. Now, okay, it's time for me to move on. Like I met somebody that brings what I'm looking for. Now we mad. Now you all up in your feelings now." No, they told you. But you thought that you was going to put it on them. That, let's be honest, we be thinking, "Oh, we going to hang off the chandeliers. Baby. And it's going to be, whose is it? Say my name. Stand up and all this other good stuff." And they still leave you for what they said that they wanted. Somebody with no kids. So you waste all your time and energy getting your feelings all invested in these people that's already telling you you're not who they checking for. You're not. They checking for somebody else. So listen, pick it all up, brush yourself off, and keep it moving. But we're not going to get stuck. So when people tell you that your child or your kids are not welcome and they're not wanted, believe them and move on. Stop trying to force stuff. Cedric, I see you talking about some of that Basilios. I see you. I may pick something up this weekend. We're gonna be enemies, Cedric. I already tell you that. But we gotta move on from those situations because again, it's not healthy for anybody involved, especially the kids. Now, speaking of healthy, listen, you all, what do you all think about this foolishness? This man, him and his wife to be, his brides to be, I should say, they're planning their wedding. And I think they had over 100 guests that they were invited to the wedding. And guess what? These folks charging their guests $450 to attend their wedding. What do you all think about that? The bride and the groom are charging their guests $450 to attend their wedding. And so needless to say, they got all the RSVPs back and nobody is coming. And guess what? They got the nerve to be mad because ain't nobody coming till they look. What in the world? $450. So in other words, you trying to charge the people and have them pay for your wedding. Like, why would you have a wedding that's that extravagant and you can't even afford to pay for it? Like, just do something small. Like, I thought that was the raggediest thing, but they have the nerve to be offended. They have the nerve to be offended because their guest refused to pay the $450. Would you all invite somebody to your wedding and then charge them? Or would you have something that's reasonable? Because again, it's like, okay, weddings are expensive, but guess what? You're in charge of your budget. So if you plan something that is within your financial realm, then you should be fine. But the problem is we get caught up in all of these extravagant, all this fra, and now you in debt after the wedding. Like you gotta get the huge wedding ring, which I don't want a huge ring because I'm just like not a huge person like that. Like a lot of, so I don't want a huge ring. And then like I don't even want a huge wedding because do you guys know how long those ceremonies are? Let me tell y'all something. When I was, for those that don't know, I was engaged some years ago and I was, a few days away from actually getting married. Listen, so I had been through the wedding rehearsals, had done, did everything, got the hall, just everything. Like I was just, you could blink your eyes and I would have been married. That's just how close to being married I was. But I called it off. And now I'm going back and looking at all of the money that I spent. And mind you, I lost 90% of that money. I did. I lost it. But you know what? I kept my peace of mind. So if I go back and I say, geez, you see all this money you lost, would you do it again? I would do it again. I would totally do it again. So I would lose it all again just to be where I am now because that would not have been a good situation. But that also taught me that I don't want a big wedding. I don't have time for people like that. You got to do all of these rehearsals. You have to practice the dance steps and get the march this way and do this and do. I'm like, I am not doing this foolishness. You got to work with the wedding coordinator. You got to taste and figure out what cake you want and how much. I said, oh, I am not doing this foolishness again. I'm running away. And I'm going to come back married. I'm going to come back married. Somebody asked me, are you two still cordial? Now we are. But when I first called the webinar, baby, he would see me in traffic. Baby, he was giving me both of them middle fingers. I'm just like, oh, you rude. I'm like, oh, okay. But now, now it's cordial. I really don't see him like that a lot, but I've talked to him a few times, and he's wanted to go to lunch. Now listen, I'm from the West Side, brother. Listen, ain't no way. When we got to talk, we ain't got no kids together. We ain't got no business together. We ain't got nothing together. You are not finna strangle me up and feed me to the dogs. I'm sorry, I'm not. So I'm good on that. So I'm not gonna, I'm not interested in that part. But I still love you. But nope. We can be friends from a distance. So yeah, we are still cordial. The times that I've seen, I've talked to him, a few years ago. He called me every now and then, and talked to me and whatnot. So I mean, it's cool on my part, but I'm like, I'm still watching you. I'm like, I'm not going to, get to the point where I'm like, okay, we BFFs and I'm going to go out to. My mom ain't raised no. She sure did not. So no. But I learned that, with all of that being said and how expensive weddings are, I'm like, I would not, because it was so much. It was so stressful just planning it. All of the practices and stuff. So I'm like, going forward, when I do actually make it to the altar, we gonna go get we running away. We are running away, and we gonna be out there in somebody's chapel, or maybe be on an apple farm or something. But I am not, because I don't have the patience for it. And that's what going through that process of planning that wedding, it showed me that I don't have the patience for that. Oh, you want this nice big wedding and this and that, and it was gonna be nice, but I don't have the patience to ever go through that again. So I would never plan something big like that unless it was something that he wanted big, and then he could plan it. I'm like, you know what? I would take the role of the dude. I'm like, whatever you want to do, it's fine with me. Just tell me where I got to show up, and what time I gotta be there. But I don't want, listen, I don't care about the cake because I don't like cake like that. I only like homemade cake, so I wouldn't care anything about the wedding cake. I don't care about the colors. Oh, well, this is pastel, but it's the napkins are fuchsia and they won't have pastel in until pastel is in. Hey, keep all them napkins, keep all, see, you know, all that. You all, my nerves are just not set up for stuff like that. And it wasn't set up for things like that back then either. But now I got a good grip on, you know what, just saying I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because at times, it was times that I used to say, you know what, I'm just going to go head on with it because, you know, this is what they want to do. Today, I'm not. I'm not. No, I can't stand up in no heels long like that. So I probably need to get married on the beach so I don't have to have any shoes on. So that would be my wedding. But to ask people to pay $450 for something that you are planning, this is for you. Brother, you need to lower your budget, and you asking people for $450, you may need to get married in your backyard, which is you, your wife, the preacher, and the dog as y'all witness. That's what it sounded like that you need to do. But you can't be upset with people if they decide that they're not going to pay you $450. They probably don't even like you like that. You invited 100 people to your wedding. 97 of them don't like you. So of course they're not going to pay the $450. They not going to do it. Somebody said he wanted to shoot his shot. He probably did, you know, but the shot, listen, those shot shooting days for that particular situation, for me, is over with. And my thing is this. I'm like this. When I'm all in and I'm holding on. I hold on. And sometimes I know I hold on a little bit longer than I should. And the reason why I do is because when I'm done, I'm done. I'm 10 toes down in mine. I'm like, listen, you can get both of these middle fingers. Once I'm done, I'm done. And I'm a cool done, though. I'm not a done that is going to act up and act crazy, come to your job, call your job, try to blow up your spot with your chicken. Now, I'm not that done. I'm the done that she never existed. She never existed. Man, she don't call. You can't call and see I'm for what? Whether you breatheth or not breatheth, that's no longer my problem. That's no longer my concern. You know, so if hopefully nothing happens to you, but when I'm done, I'm done. So that's why I hold on like I do, because I know that once the switch goes off, it's just like the generator. And that's it. You know how when you hear the power go off and the whole thing, you like, oh, dang, all the power is off. That's how I am. And then it doesn't come back on. So now I can see you in public. I can speak to you. I can, you know, no hard feelings, no attitude, no nothing, because I know that I gave it all that I can. And now I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay with not being the person for you. I'm okay with that. Like some people think that and sometimes it can be really hard. I'm not saying that it's easy to get to that place, but when you know who you are, like, okay, this is not the experience for everybody. Everybody cannot handle this experience. And some people try to make you feel bad. Oh yeah, you ain't married, you ain't been married. Well, you don't know how many rings I've said no to. You don't know what is being, you know, why said no is, oh, you getting old, people getting older, and you know, okay. I'm like, am I supposed to be threatened? Or listen, I would rather age gracefully and peacefully opposed to be dealing with some domestic violence-ish just to be saying, oh, well, I'm married, but you cracking my head up, you cracking my head in the wall every chance you get. But I was married. Listen, I got married. Listen, we done did it now. Listen, my last name is changed, but I gotta put all this makeup on to hide this black eye that I keep walking. For some reason, I keep walking into this brother's fist. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why. I'm good. I'm good because I would hate to have to shoot somebody. I'm just going to say it. Hate black eye equal bullet. RBs are not going to be the same. Black eye bullet. So to keep yourself out of that, to keep me out of that, just listen, just be at peace with yourself. You are the only one that you have to be okay with. It's just you. You don't owe anybody any explanations. You know where you come from. You know why you're single, or you know why you desire marriage. You know why. See, there for me, that's why I always like to say, know ye thine self. Because for me, I don't feel like there's an in-between for me. So you see how I just said, you give me a black eye, I got to put a bullet in you. You see how it's not, there's no middle. So how did you go from a black eye to a bullet? Because that's where it is. That's what black eye equals bullet. That's how, see, 1 + 1, black eye, bullet. It's the same for me. So why put yourself in that situation just so that you can say, people can say, oh, yeah, she married. Yeah, you know her. She done got married a couple of years ago. You married and you suffering in silence because you didn't want to hear what people had to say about you, you know, not being married. So sometimes you got to listen. I'm going to say all the time, you have to choose you first. You can't be worried about, because listen, people are going to talk about you whatever. Oh, she thinks she all that because she married. Oh, she ain't married. Something must be wrong with her. Oh, she got, so people gonna talk. It don't matter. Like, you can't win for losing because people gonna always have something to say. But what you have to understand is that you have to do what makes you happy. They said eat the cake, anime. Absolutely right. Now you say eat the cake, now I gotta shoot you. You see what I'm saying? See how that, see, eat the cake, now it's a bullet. Now I gotta shoot you. And that's, now the family getting up in there now, need a bail money and lawyer, and then they gotta go talk to Dr. Shawinski, and then Dr. Shawinski gonna tell them, well, we gonna have to, that was insanity right there. Do you see her mental record? Like, she don't look like she crazy. Hey, did you see these notes that I've been taking on this chick for all these years? Now your family mad because I ain't got to spend no time up in it. You see what I'm saying? So, look, let's just keep everybody safe. Me and Dr. Shawinski, we kicking it over here. But everybody, listen, ladies, don't let society press you or make you feel bad because you're over 30 or 35 and you're not married, or you've never been married, or you don't have any kids. Don't let society put that type of pressure on you, and then you end up in a situation where you would go back and say, man, I wish that I had just stayed to myself. I wish that you up in the bathroom crying, or you on your way home from work and you don't want to go home from work because you know what's waiting for you when you get home. Why put yourself through that? Why? If just to say that you married. But if you got a good dude and that's what y'all going for, then rock out. Because listen, I'm all for marriage. All for marriage, all for love. Listen, believe it or not, I'm a sucker for love. I'm a big romantic. But then, like I say, when the switch flips, though, that's the thing. When the switch flip, and you gotta cock that thing back, I'm okay with that one too. So know ye thine self, but don't let people put that pressure on you and say, oh, well, you're not worth it, or something is wrong with you because you've reached a certain age. And man, because I hear people, some people say, oh, she ain't got no kids, something must be wrong with her. She probably don't want no kids. She probably never wanted any kids. You ever thought about that? It's not hard to make a kid. So it's, so she took the measures to not have a kid, especially if she wasn't married. If she's not married by a certain age, some must be wrong with her. Why you ain't married? She must be crazy. Listen, when dudes at this point, if you out there dating and you ask me, why are you single? Something must be wrong with you. I'm like, aren't you single too? So what's wrong with you? Then you get the looks like, I'm just, or unless you're not single and you up in here pretending like you single. So listen, so somebody say something, somebody, but don't let people put all of this ish on you that you don't put on yourself. So like they said in the comments, love yourself. Be happy with where you are. I'm not saying this is not oh, I don't need a man, because I don't jump on that train. Listen, I love men. Listen, there is nothing like the power of the schlong dong. Okay, let me see what I'm saying. Listen, the right one connected to the right dude and the right personality, we on and popping. But you get the wrong schlong dong with the wrong dude, now forget it. Just count me out. Just count me out. So you're not gonna hear me over here saying, oh, I don't need a man. I don't like men to be in this. Wrong sister over here. I loves me a brother. Love him to pieces. I just, it seems like it's the crazy brothers. I'm going through my crazy season right now. So that's the ones that, want to love on you. You got to be careful with that type of foolishness, because look, okay, everything be real. But it's okay with just saying, you know what, listen, I'm a chill because what's for me is for me. And maybe if it's not meant for me to be married and coupled up, I'm okay with that because, and we're going to do a show about this, being single versus being lonely. But don't let society put all that ish on you. If you know that you're going to be happy and ain't nobody knocking you upside your head and you getting up and ain't nobody cheating on you, ain't nobody lying to you, ain't nobody stealing from you, ain't nobody stressing you out, you winning. I don't care what society say, you are winning. Imagine being in a situation where something said, girl, you better run, and you chose to stay. Can you imagine what type of price you're going to have to pay for not listening to what the ancestors was telling you? Girl, get on up out of there. The angels that have been assigned to watch over you and you didn't get up out of there and they told you to. Now you got to deal with all of this stuff that you would not have had to deal with had you just listened to what was in you, opposed to falling with the pressures of this society to couple and get with somebody that is not for you. And in your gut, for me, I saw it. It was clear as day. I said to myself, it was the things that we were just dealing with and challenges and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? Man, I already saw, listen, I'm going to say something real key, you guys. I saw me having to go through getting a divorce before I had even made it down the aisle. I'm just like, all of this stuff, I'm like, it was, and now mind you, I wasn't talking to family and friends about this. I was just processing all of this stuff internally. I was just processing all of this. And I'm just like, man, I need to get out of here. I'm like, this is that bull junkie right here. And I'm like, this could get bad for a whole lot of people if this continues. If we go forward with this is not going to work. So I'm like, wait a minute. Why do I have to get a divorce when I can just not show up to the wedding, when I can just call this ish off right now? It's going to be cheaper than going through the process, of going through this day and trying to get me and going through this whole circus. Guess what I said? You got to kill me out. You got to kill me out. And I left, man. I'm like, yo, deuces, I'm done. That's it. That's it. That's it. Was it a hard decision? No, it wasn't. Have I looked back and said, man, I wish I would. No, not at all. Not at all. And I'm like, it was just well with my spirit because that was the decision for me to make. That was not my forever person. That was not my leader. That was not my king. That was not my partner. And it was okay. Now, did people have something to say? Absolutely. Think I care? Absolutely not. They were still talking, and guess what? While you talking, you getting cheated on, and I'm sleeping in peace. You getting knocked upside your head, and I'm sleeping in peace. You getting your money stole from you and spent on other chicks, and I'm sleeping in peace, keeping all my money, keeping all this. So who really winning? So don't worry about what people are saying. Stand on your own 2 feet and do what makes you happy. But the thing is, you got to be willing to stand 10 toes down in it, no matter who like it and who don't. And once you start living like that, this is my life and I make my rules and you live on your own terms, you're going to be freer. You're going to be happier because listen, nobody is over my happiness but me. If you don't like it, there's the door. Like you can exit, you can rotate left. And that's where I had got to the point where it was like a switch that came on because, sometimes I used to not say everything, but it was like once I just felt liberated. I'm like, I'm just going to start saying anything. And now once you start saying anything, now people leave you alone. See, now, because now you got to be the bad guy. Oh, I already know she's going to start. Because if you leave me alone, then I won't start. But if you open up Pandora's box, baby, I'm coming for you full-fledged. So, like they used to say back in the day, don't start none, it won't be none. But when you're talking about having these weddings and things like that, I would say plan something that is within your budget because it's unfair to plan a huge wedding like that, plan something huge like that, and you know that you are not able to afford that. Don't plan, stay in your budget, stay in your realm, stay in something that is going to be feasible for you. So rock out. But again, if you're not there and you don't have anybody and you single or you are of a certain age and you don't have kids yet and things of that nature, listen, don't let all this ish stress you out. Stop focusing on what you don't have. And that's because that's right there. That's what keeps a lot of people unhappy is because you think about all of the stuff that you don't have. So it's like sometimes it's just helpful to redirect that energy and focus on what you do have. Focus on the good things that you do. What good do you have going on, opposed to, oh man, I don't have a man and I don't have a this and I don't have, cry me I'm like, look, you come, look, it's only 1 or 2 complaints you get with me, and then I'm gonna be like, child, okay, because I'm like, I want to find a solution. I'm a solution seeker. So you cannot come to me complaining and just want to complain. You don't want to find a solution. You don't want to find a way out. You cannot, because my nerves are not there like that. Like my nerves, the way I'm wired, I'm like, okay, and this ain't right, and this ain't right. And so why you saying that? Okay, so I already see solutions on how we can get you up out of that. But you don't want to hear the solutions. You just want to keep complaining. And I'd be like, ooh, once I start the, child, just know you finna get put out. I'm finna end the conversation. One of the two is about to happen. You about to get put out, or I'm gonna have to end the conversation because you draining me. All of this draining stuff, all this complaint. Girl, can you believe he cheat? Oh, and with the cheating stories, listen, once you know that they are cheaters and you take them back because they don't promise to change, and that's fine. I'm not against anybody that believes in reconciling and all this. I'm all for love. Team J love. Yep, all that. But, friend, you cannot come over here and keep calling me. Girl, can you believe? Nope. We've been through this already. You already know what you're dealing with. So look. Let that man cheat in peace, okay? Stop, because we already know what happened the last time you found out he was cheating. You took him back. So that's why he's cheating again. So now you have forfeited your right to come over here and complain and think I'm going to listen to it because listen, I'm not built like that. I'm not built like that to go through the complaining all over again. Yeah, and I saw him over there, and can you believe he got two? Now he got it's another girl involved. Can you believe? No, the question is, can you believe it? I'm sitting up here like, I can't believe you actually on my phone with this foolishness again. And I already told you, I love you, friend. But we're not talking about this. Because here's why. Do you guys ever feel like this? Like you have friends and they come to you and they're dealing with their relationship issues and they have a partner that's cheating or not doing right. And you know that they don't want to hear the truth. All they want you to agree with their decision. And when you don't agree with it, now you're going to lose a friend. So what I do is I'm just like, I don't agree, but I don't say something that I know will tear up what you trying to believe in because I already know you ain't going nowhere. You know your friends and you know how they're talking and you know whether or not they going somewhere. So once I decide that you ain't going nowhere, I'm ready to talk about something else. So you'll come to me and call me, girl, can you believe he done did this and I caught him over here and this and that? You know what my next question be? I'm like, so now what you getting the kids for Christmas? What y'all gonna, is your mama cooking? Your sister and them, what we doing for Christmas? You ain't hear what I said? I said, huh? You ain't hear what I said? I was telling you, I saw him cheating. I said, did you not hear what I said? I said, what are we getting the kids for Christmas? Are you cooking or am I cooking? So you don't want to talk about it? We already talked about this 6 months ago and you took them back. Somebody said, let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. Absolutely. I let them do what they gonna do. Let them cheat in peace and leave me so I can live my life in peace. And you and I can be in peace. Because if I tell you how I feel, then now you're going to be mad at me. So I know you don't want to hear what I'm saying. I know you don't want to hear it because you can tell by a person's conversation that they just want you to listen and agree with what they're saying. But if you say something that goes against what they believe in and what they want to accept from that situation, now guess what you become? You become a hater. They just didn't want to see us together. No way. They just don't want to see. Listen, I don't care if you all are together or not. What I ask and beg of thee, don't put me in it. Because see, now when I get off the phone with you, now I got to go talk to myself about you because the stuff that I could not say to you because I know it was going to slice you from here to here. I got to go talk to myself to vent about what you giving me. And so I try, because Dr. Slewinski have asked me to limit the amount of times that I'm talking to myself. So in order to not do that, because now you're going to have them up my meds. Like it's something wrong with me. But no, you causing me angst. I like that word, angst. You causing me angst in my life. And I don't need it. So listen, guys, let people do what they going to do. Rock out, do whatever, live however. But most importantly, you rock out and you live however. You live on your terms and you do what makes you happy. Don't let this world tell you that something is wrong with you because you don't have kids at a certain age. Don't you let this world tell you something is wrong with you because you're not married or you haven't been married by a certain age. Don't let this world do that to you. If you are happy where you are, that's great. If you're not happy where you are, get happy. Get happy in the situation that you are in and then watch things change. Whatever is meant for you. We have to start understanding this. What's meant for me will be. You may be desiring something that is not meant for you. And I'm not saying having kids or marriage is not meant for you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying get good at understand and accepting what the assignment is for your life, because my assignment is different from your assignment. So we got to be happy with where we are. And man, listen, what's meant to be, it will be. Somebody said exactly. So it's what's meant to be, it will be. So you got to continue to walk in that. But if you listening to all these memes and all these see, this ain't gonna go viral. You know why? Because I'm trying to keep us together. See, I'm not talking, oh, men ain't this and women ain't this. See, I'm not talking that, so this ain't gonna go viral. It's cool. Because I'm trying to keep us together, because I believe in us being together. So I'm saying, don't listen to all of that negative stuff that's out here. That's all you see. Oh, black men are not choosing black women. They want black women. Woo! No, stop taking all that stuff in. And just know your time is coming. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we're going to get into tonight's hot topic, the pros and cons of co-parenting. Are you on board or are you not? You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yeah, guys, listen, if you let them, people will get on your nerves with that. Yeah, she ain't. They 37 years old and they not married, and something is wrong with them. They not married. Y'all saw me. I'm sorry. Oh, I do. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I got it on stand back there. Sorry, that's stand, y'all. Oh, I got somebody. Hi. Hello. Don't even try it. Hi. You came just in time. Come on, let me go. You had to change. No second chances. This love I have is not for play. In no circumstances, I'm in need of romance. Pick up the phone, 'cause y'all, I got a nice old surprise up in here. Hi, y'all. You all, my computer is down, so I haven't really been able to see everybody's comments because we got stuff going on from all over. But my son done came on up here. Oh, what you say? Y'all don't tell him I'm gonna be on my best behavior though, because you know I be trying to be a good example. You know, cause he be all judgmental and stuff. You know, but he knows what be going on, you know, with the struggles that his mother has. So I'm gonna try to act all brand new. I'm be like, oh my goodness, he is fast. But yeah, that's we're getting ready to start. Oh, I got a little treat. Hi.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you so much. You can push that one back so they can see you. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Like and subscribe to our channel, the J Spot on YouTube. And then go to TikTok, like and follow us there, the J Spot. Guys, J is Jaye. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Listen, it's just me. And I have a great surprise. So when he introduces himself, I'm going to get up and adjust these cameras. But listen, we have my honorary co-host. He has not been here in quite some time. My son, Amir, dark skinned Poppy. How you doing, dark skinned Poppy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Feels good to be back, man. It's been a long time. I tell you that. I
Yes.
remember the last time I was on here, man.
Oh well, we
I
have
don't know where
missed
I
you
was.
though. You say you don't know where you were.
I have no idea where I was. I mean, I'll tell you where I was. I was working. I was working. That's what I was doing. You know, getting to the money. You know.
So how is life treating you now after college?
Life has been treating me very, very, very well. You know, I can't complain. You know, sometimes I miss those college days. You know, sleeping all day. You know what I'm saying? You know, staying out late. I miss those days. You know, but now being an adult, you know, some things change. You know,
Is that
some
right?
things change. Absolutely.
So what kind of things have changed?
And, you know, working. You know, working a lot.
You gotta scoot over this way.
Working a lot. You know, building my craft up. You know, all type of stuff. You know, still trying to get a little snooze in from time to time. But you know what? Sometimes it ain't always like that. You know, you gotta always be on the hustle, and that's what I've been doing.
He's on all. So can y'all hear him? I hope y'all can hear him. Oh, I can't see. Hold on, y'all can't see him over there. So tell everybody about Delaware and how they can place an order and how they can get in contact with you. Because some people,
Yeah.
know.
So I still have my clothing brand. So feel free to follow me on Facebook, my personal page Amir Dale, and then my business page Delaware Inc.
woo. Well, we got my son, Mr. Dark Skin Poppy, up in here. Guys, listen, this is, I like this guy right here. I'm very proud of him, and he helps, keep me balanced, so to speak. Scoot over this way so they can see you, and over there too on all of them. Hopefully I done adjusted them right so they can see you there. Okay. But guys, listen, we're gonna get to our topic for tonight. Tonight we are talking about the pros and cons of co-parenting. Now, here's the question. How willing are we really to put our grown-up differences to the side and do what's best when it comes to dealing with for your children, and when it comes to dealing with the other parent? How willing are we to do that? Because a lot of times, listen, we get all up in our feelings and we want to do what is best. You scoot up to the 7 something. We want to do what we want to do, and we want to be right about everything. And sometimes that's not always feasible for us to be right about everything. So I say, when we are talking about co-parenting, you know what? Sometimes we got to give up our right for the other person's wrong, just so that we can have a peaceful situation. And so when we're going and talking about co-parenting, do you make it hard to deal with you? So I know you're a young man and you coming up in the ranks and everything. So just generally speaking, as a young man that's dating, do you think, are you hard to deal with?
Honestly, I'm not hard to deal with. I mean, I feel like that. I just want to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be heard. I want my feelings to matter, my thoughts to matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to come to that person and just tell them, you know, how I'm feeling. And if that person doesn't respect that, they, first of all, they're not gonna respect you for who you are, and they're not gonna respect, what you stand for. And that person is not for you, and that's just straight up facts right there. They not for you, and you need to find somebody else. So, I mean, like I said, like, I'm not hard to deal with at all. I'm a very well put together, God fearing man. You know what I'm saying? If the young lady out there, she don't accept me for who I am, hey, there's no hard feelings. I mean, there's somebody else out there for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the Lord knows who it is, and He's gonna direct them to me. And I'm not gonna go soul searching around doing none of the other stuff. He gonna place them right there for me and be like, there you go. There you go, sir. This right here is the one for you. Now, if you mess it up, then that's all on you. And I'm gonna have to be like, you know what, Lord, you are absolutely right. I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna trust you on that, and I'm gonna stick with what you say, because if you say this is the right one for me, hey, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh yeah, this guy, he sound real familiar.
That's what you call bars right there. So take notes, fellas.
So listen, when I think about, am I hard to deal with? Do I make it hard to deal with me? And I will say, why are you looking at me like that?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting right here. Oh yeah.
I should have just skipped on by this question for
No,
me.
no. Go ahead and tell them. Go ahead and tell them.
So there's a two-part question. This is a two-part answer for me. So I'm not hard to deal with, but I'm hard to play with, if that makes sense. So the being in the one of the privileges of being in the 30 plus age range is knowing myself. And when I say knowing myself, I know what I'm going to deal with and I know what I'm not going to deal with. I know what battles to choose. And then when I'm so old school saying, I know when to hold them and when to fold them. So I choose my battles wisely. And sometimes that may come off as being hard to deal with because today's me, I don't have a lot of energy to argue and go back and forth. I just don't. So if I see that we're not on the same page, then I'm going to let you be right. And I'm going to move accordingly. So from some people's standpoint, that may make one hard to deal with. And if that's so, then I'm hard to deal with when it comes to being that way. But when it comes to raising kids and co-parenting, I'm a firm believer on we have to do what is best for the child. We have to do what's best for the kids. And a lot of times, we as grown people, we make it hard because I want things my way, they want things their way, and we're not looking at the big picture. And the big picture is the little person that is involved. So we should be able to put aside our differences, our dislike for each other, our contempt or whatever that feeling may be that's negative. We should be able to put that aside for each other and focus on doing what is best for the kid. Because here's the deal. We didn't have that much contempt for each other when we was, baby. See, it wasn't all that. See, when we getting it in, listen, it's all, who's this? And say my name. I'm 10 toes down. Listen, it's all fun. Now, there's a kid involved. Now we can't stand each other guts. But we got to go back to that place in our mind for when we did have a little bit of positive feelings for that person. And now we got to do what we have to do to make things work for the kids. So is it possible to co-parent with somebody that you really don't get along with? What do you think about that? Would that be an ideal situation? Would you be able to co-parent with someone if ever being in that situation that you don't get along with?
Now it depends, because some people might be able. It depends on the type of person that you're dealing with. If they if they don't have a problem with like co-parenting, y'all get along well, of course it's gonna work out. But for some people, it's just not gonna work out. Like it's just not gonna work out. Y'all got differences. Y'all fight and argue all the time, stuff like that. She not hearing you, you not hearing her. It's just not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Especially if y'all haven't like sat down and like actually had that actual conversation with each other face to face. And that's why like dating and when it comes to like dating women and like just like talking and stuff like the relationship, it's important to communicate. You know what I'm saying? It's important to like talk about this stuff because in situations where you have like when you have like kids and stuff like that, like it's gonna be hard to like explain that like to like the kid and stuff like that, like why mom and dad didn't get along and stuff like that, and why they co-parents and stuff like that. Then the kid gotta like look to the mother and the dad, like okay, so who wrong? Like I mean, because I didn't have to come in this world, the kid gonna be looking at both of y'all, you know what I'm saying? So like it's just important to like communicate especially in like relationships and especially in like the dating phase. Because like I just feel like that in this generation, in this world, it's like nobody is doing that. Like nobody is communicating, ain't nobody having like these actual conversations and stuff, and that's why the dating game is just it's just bad out here. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody is listening to each other, nobody is like communicating like they should, and it's like everybody is just like pointing the finger at each other. You know what I'm saying? And they just not having like these conversations. And I believe that would make a difference if people like actually had these conversations and like stop pointing the blame at other people and just like point the blame at themselves and like communicate with their partner.
And you said something there, because communication is definitely the key in a lot of these situations. And again, to just piggyback on, when we are communicating, sometimes if you're not being heard, like you feel yourself talking and y'all just talking at each other, or you talking round and round and round, you know what? Sometimes we got to get, and we don't like doing this, especially sometimes, we as Black people, but sometimes you need to get a third party involved. You need to get a mediator involved. Sometimes you need to get a pastor involved, somebody that you trust, somebody that is going to be neutral, not be on her side, not be on your side, and somebody that can come together and help you all sort out whatever the issues are and sort out whatever it is. So they hear you and then they hear the other person, but then they help you guys to hear each other, because sometimes one of the biggest parts and one of the biggest pieces to communicating effectively is hearing the other person. And a lot of times we talk just to get our point out, or we listen just to be able to respond, opposed to listening to understand. And I think that we are all guilty of that at some point in having conversations with people, where we're not even focusing on what's being said in order to understand what the person is saying. We're listening to be able to respond. So that's something that some of us may need some help with doing, especially if you find yourself talking about the same thing over and over again, and you like, okay, we already talked about this, and it makes you feel like a person is not listening, and they may be listening, but they're not really understanding. So I'm all for bringing a third party involved to try to help, situate and help us get on help us get on one accord. Because again, when you are co-parenting, that means that there was a breakdown in what was once a relationship. And that's not always easy to deal with. So we went from being in love or loving each other a lot of times, or we went from being with each other to now we have kids involved, and now we're no longer together, but we got these kids and we got to be able to work together. And sometimes, let's just be real, sometimes we're not ready to work with each other because I still haven't worked through my personal issues with you. You may still love this person, but they've moved on from you. But you have a kid. So now you can't afford to sit in your feelings, and now you want to keep the kid away from the other person because you're in love with them, or you still have some feelings for them, but those feelings are not being reciprocated. So we can't now take the kid and say, oh, it's all mine. Just because you didn't love me, I know you're not going to love the kid. That is a huge mistake, and it's a huge misconception that we need to stop doing that, just because we gotta learn to separate the two. And I know a lot of time for ladies, some of us, it's hard for us to do that. It's hard for me to say, you know what? Because he wasn't a good man for me in the relationship, then I know he's not going to be a good father. Those are two different things. He could have cheated on you all through the relationship and all through the marriage, but he is a good father. He shows up. He does what he has to do for the kid, love, instills all this good stuff. So we cannot make that assumption, and we cannot go around punishing these fathers because they were not what we wanted in a relationship. So those are two different things. So when you're talking about co-parenting, what do you think would be some pros for a situation where you have to co-parent? What do you think would be some pros to co-parenting?
I would say, it's between like the, two people, the man and the woman, each of y'all, y'all get a responsibility, she, I would say that's like, write a list down, you know what I'm saying? Like, write down a list of the things that y'all gonna do, what she gonna do, the list of things that you gonna do, and just stick with it, you know what I'm saying? And, I would say if once you write that list, she and then y'all come to an agreement and be like, okay, I could, I have no problem with doing this, and then you don't have a problem with doing what you have to do. And once y'all come to like an agreement, I say stick with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, stick with the list that y'all both made. Therefore it'll be much, easier, during like the co-parenting process. I'll say like, making a list because like, that's it's very helpful for like both of the two. And like there's no like no hiccups and stuff like that. There's no issues and stuff like that because y'all both wrote down what y'all was gonna do and y'all have like specific things and tasks that y'all gonna do for the baby. And I feel like with those lists, that'll alleviate so many problems. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, with the baby and everything, that'll like take care of like a whole lot of problems. And and whoever muck up during that, hey, that's their problem. You know what I'm saying? So if you doing what you got to do on your list, and she not doing what she doing on her list, so she doing certain stuff on the list, and then she just skip over all of the other stuff that she doing now. She done messed up because she listened to her friends and stuff like that, getting all of this bad advice and stuff like that. Girl, you don't need no list. You don't need to do all that. Just throw them on child support. You don't have to do all of that. What you arguing with? Look, you ain't got to do all that. Then that's where the problem begins at. And you just stick to your list. And since she done messed on up and listened to her friends and stuff, that she's gonna have to lay in that because she did that to us. She did that to us. So she put her own self in that situation. Why? Because she was listening to her friends when she could have just simply just followed her list that she had for the co-parenting process, and now she done monked on up because she was she was getting bad energy and bad vibes and the wrong information from her friends. And yeah, and that's what will cause problems right there.
Listen, 30 plus people, I would have to say that was a new one for me. I don't know if you guys, but that to me, that was a really good point to make a list. And it's a really good point because now you can hold yourselves accountable. You can hold each other accountable because we said what we were going to be responsible for doing. Because sometimes we know in the heat of the moment of talking about things, you can be like, oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I never said that. But if it's right here on this list.
We got all of these gadgets out here. We got all of these iPhones, these Androids, these iPads, all of this stuff. Hey, write a list, record it, do whatever you got to do. Therefore, you can keep documentation and proof, you know what I'm saying, that you said you was going to do what you was going to do. And she said she was going to do what she was going to do. So, however, whoever monk up during all of this, that's going to be that person's fault. You know what I'm saying? So, therefore, you got a paper trail on what's going on. So, therefore, and I'll actually, will take this advice for myself as well, too, because, hey, it's a whole lot of stuff going on out here in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, and, the legal court system out here, they ain't got nothing, they ain't got no love for the brothers out here. But you know what I'm saying? Oh, we gonna rise up like the three kings. We gonna rise on up against these folks, and we gonna have these lists. List 2024, 2025. That's us fellas. We coming out. We doing lists forever and ever and ever. Put in the comment section lists 24, 25, 26. And infinity and beyond lists. We all making lists on what we gonna do. In whatever situation you're in, just make a list. Stick with it, record, we'll do whatever you gotta do. But we coming out with lists, fellas. We gotta regain our spot. Because some of these women, they be trying to trick us on up out here. And you know what? Some of the ladies, y'all gonna have to want to get in on this too. Hey, make a list, record, do whatever you gotta do. Hey, save a whole lot of issues.
Well, listen, I'm on board for a list. I mean, like I said, that was the first time that I heard of a list, and I don't have that in my notes, so I'm going to write that down because that was definitely a good point. Like to make a list and say, you know what, listen, this is what I'm going to do. This is what you're going to do. And I think that the list, now here's the thing, let's clarify this. The list is going to change as so the list, so this is where the communication comes in at. So now, okay, well, I need you to do this, or let me do this, or let me do that. So this is where the power of communication comes in at. But you know what? The list is going to be so crucial because you have a starting point. You have a starting point, and therefore we're not overstepping and stepping on each other and fighting and pulling with each other. So I think that that's definitely a good point. Now, according to an online source, here are a few pros to co-parenting. The first being co-parenting, it increases a child's sense of security and reduces stress. They know that they're loved, especially when they see the parents getting along. See, it's very helpful. Don't get me wrong. I believe that the ideal household for a child is for the parents to be together. That's the ideal, hands down. But if it's toxic and unhealthy for those two adults to be together, no, you go to your corner, you go to your corner, and then we're going to come together. I'm going to be healthy for my kid. You're going to be healthy. And when we come together, we're going to be healthy in front of our child. Even if we don't care too much for each other, guess what? Our child should never know it. So when co-parenting, another big thing is we should never be bad talking the other parent. No matter if you think that the mama is trifling, you think that the daddy is no good, the child should never know that. Your child should never feel that. They should never feel that type of negative energy towards their other parent because it's not fair. Like you already brainwashing and you're poisoning your child against the other parent. So now they don't even have a fair shot to be able to fairly be able to love their parent because you've impressed upon them your feeling about that parent. And so therefore that is not fair for us to do that. So we got to make sure that we are doing the right thing for our kids. Co-parenting increases the likelihood of two active parents remaining active in the kid's life. You're going to remain active in the life if both parents are involved. And again, it just makes a better, well-rounded child. It also improves communication and the relationship with the parents. When you guys are able to come together, to work it out and do what's best for the kid, listen, that kid is going to win. Hands down, that kid is going to win. Now, here's the thing. Here's some cons to co-parenting. It can be stressful if those levels of communication are not there. If that list is not there and you're not following the list, it can be very, very stressful to co-parent. It can be stressful when the parents don't get along. I mean, you guys are arguing all in front of the kids, just calling each other every raggedy, ratchet name you can think of. All of that is going down in front of the kids. And then the next one is the parents, you constantly trying to pit, and this is a big one that we cannot do this. Let's stop trying to make the children choose sides. You shouldn't feel good about your child not liking his or her father. You should not feel good about your child not liking his or her father. You should not feel good about that. You should not be wanting to pit the kids put them against each other. Where it's better of it, I'm better than your mom, and don't do that. Don't do that because it's not healthy. And you know who it's not healthy for? It's not healthy for your kids. So when we're talking about the pros and the cons of co-parenting, Co-parenting is very possible. Co-parenting can be a very positive experience, but it depends on the outlook and the goals of both parents involved. And when I say the goals, is our goal to raise a well-rounded child, or is our goal to one up each other? Because if we always put the child's needs first, then guess what? The child is going to get everything that he or she needs from both parents. But if we choose to feed our egos and one up each other and keep this toxic stuff going, then guess what? The child is who loses in the end. So guys, listen, co-parenting, again, it can be a challenge, but if we're really focusing on the kids and wanting to make that situation work, let's start listening. If you're having a problem with getting on one accord with the other parent, try getting a mediator, try getting a neutral third party involved to try to start you guys off and just try to show you guys how to communicate with each other and how to create these lists and how to become on one accord so that you can do what's best and stop focusing on your dislike for each other and focus on your love for your child. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And J is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner, go to YouTube. Boop, boop, boop. Be sure to like and subscribe our channel, the J Spot Radio. Guys, help us reach our 1,000 subscribers. Please, please, please. Go to TikTok, like and follow us there, the J Spot. J is Jaye. Turn on the notification bell for all platforms. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, my honorary co-host, Dark Skin Poppy.
Yes, yes.
It's just me, you guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Good night, guys. Good night. Good night, guys. Thank you over here, YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everybody.